And by doing that, it was necessary in their mind to separate the children from their parents. And that was the greatest sin that occurred throughout this whole time. And so the most important thing for us to do as a church, especially at the higher levels, the levels of leadership, people like priests, oblates, bishops, and the Pope, is to truly acknowledge how sinful and how harmful these schools were. And to even acknowledge why it took so long for us to really acknowledge that. We basically, as church institutions, had to be dragged to court in order to say sorry. This last week, as our delegates were in Rome, every day we got the news. And after the Mass, go and see on the wall of the gym, there's photographs that we've been sent, pictures of Gary Gagnon and Audrey Putras and the other delegates in Rome and with the Holy Father. And there's some wonderful pictures of Father Susai. And only Father Susai could pull this off. At the last little audience in a room about this big, filled with people, security and everything, he thinks, maybe I'll give the Holy Father that orange priestly stole that Veronica Kennedy made from Lac Sainte Anne. And he managed to get up there and said, Holy Father, on behalf of the peoples, we'd like to give you this priestly stole. It's in orange. It has our symbols and colors. And he happily put it on the Pope, and the Pope is smiling and gives a blessing. And it's just wonderful, yeah. And so what you just demonstrated is that you folks here are not about condemning. You are applauding that finally the church is starting to show the kind of courage and heart that you, your brothers and sisters, and your ancestors have had to show to fight to be recognized and respected. The courage of your community to fight to make the church practice what it teaches and preaches. You are showing a greatness of heart that reveals you don't want to condemn the church. You forgive the church. But church, you need to really say sorry at a deeper level. You need to feel the hurt that you weren't as holy as you thought. And so this is a very important time. And the Pope said, I hope to visit Canada in the days of Lac Sainte Anne, or the days of the Feast of Saint Anne. Where do you think he'll go? Okay? So we're going to have a lot of work to do, folks. There's going to be a lot of work to happen before that comes around here, probably this summer. And so we pray that we will always be able to recognize the ways that we cheat on our spouse, Jesus Christ. And the more deeply we can suffer our conversion, the more we will know the power of Christ and his resurrection. But if we don't really suffer our conversion as a church, and I'm speaking especially of the clergy, the oblates, if we don't suffer that conversion, we're really not going to know the power of Christ's transforming love. So we have joy. We've got joy in our hearts to be recognized, to be seen by the very chief pastor of the church. We will continue to carry that joy through all the work that it will take to make this visit a deep and rich legacy of reconciliation.